My skill is making impossible possible. Fine, I believe you. This got the youth to recall Zhuo Fan's close call in killing him. How do we do it? Splendid. We are now partners. How should I address brother? Xie Tianyang. The youth spoke loud and clear. Xie, you mean you're from the 7 noble houses, Sword Marquis abode. Second-rate clans like the Shui clan relied on the protection of the 7 noble houses. Just that she never got to leave Blue Expanse City, not once in her life, and the only 7 noble houses people she saw were from Hell Valley. Oh, brother Zhuo, what house do you come from that you're so amazing? Xue Ningxiang couldn't help but wonder as Zhuo Fan was so young and yet no less powerful than Xie Tianyang. In fact, Zhuo Fan could have struck this disciple of Sword Marquis abode dead if not for the spiritual armor. Thus, Zhuo Fan had to be from a special background. Xie Tianyang also turned to Zhuo Fan with eager eyes. He wanted to know just which house gave birth to such a monster. Zhuo Fan shook his head with a smile. I'm no one important, just a small steward in the Luo clan of Windgaze City. The two were shocked. Luo clan? Never heard of it. It's quite normal for you to not know. Luo clan is just a third-rate clan. Zhuo Fan smiled. This time, both of them eyed him with suspicion. They would never believe that a trifling clan could raise such an expert. Not even the imperial family. Brother, if what you said is true, you are welcome to join Sword Marquis abode. Xie Tianyang's eyes shined as he patted Zhuo Fan's shoulder. Knowing where Xie Tianyang was going with this, Zhuo Fan smiled. You're late. I already signed an alliance agreement with Veiled Dragon Pavilion, but if Sword Marquis abode wants to sign a similar agreement, I'd be happy to oblige. What? Zhuo Fan just dropped a bomb that shocked the other two to their cores. Alliance agreement. Veiled Dragon Pavilion? Why would Veiled Dragon Pavilion do this for a small clan? This news was too outrageous, even worse than if the heaven and earth switched places. Xie Tianyang watched Zhuo Fan closely but shook his head in the end. Brother, it's fine if you don't want to say it. But do you have to lie to us so Brother Zhuo, we told you everything about us, while you still keep your secret. This is not proper. Zhuo Fan shook his head. The truth was taken as lies by others and he did not know how to respond. All right, Brother Zhuo, let's forget it. We'll be going our separate ways when this is over anyway, with little chance of meeting again. There's no need to know everything about each other. We had better listen to Brother Zhuo's plan. Only Xue Ningxiang pouted. Since we were brought together by fate, why can't we be friends? Zhuo Fan then retrieved a piece of paper from his ring and began to write on it. 15 minutes later, a strange design adorned it. A first-grade array? But I've never seen this one in my life, and I've seen my fair share. Xie Tianyang was from the 7 houses, and just like Long Kuei, he had learned of arrays from a young age. But few parts of this array were from an ancient era and not seen today. Thus, he could not understand the array completely. Xie Tianyang studied the design for a long time, then looked at Zhuo Fan with a firm gaze. You're from the 7 houses. No, maybe even imperial. I already said it. It's up to you to believe or not, but now we're working together. Follow me. Zhuo Fan took out a map and walked ahead with the other two close behind. All Beast Mountain Range was split into 3 areas based on how dangerous the spiritual beasts were. The first area was the safest, with only 1st and 2nd level spiritual beasts roaming around, and the seldom 3rd level. These were suited for foundation establishment and chi condensation cultivators to catch as spirit animals. And the Golden Spring Pool was in this area. The second area was the treasure hunting area, a place where 3rd and 4th level spiritual beasts came and went as they pleased. Entering it while being below the bone tempering stage equaled death. But this area was filled with spiritual beasts, an important place from where strong experts got their spirit animals. The third area was deemed as the danger zone. The spiritual beasts here were of 5th and 6th level. Even a radiant stage expert would die here. As such, if one didn't have absolute confidence in his power, he would not step foot here. Zhuo Fan was now standing near the border between the 1st and 2nd areas. Xue Ningxiang and Xie Tianyang were puzzled, but this area was filled with spiritual beasts, an important place from where strong experts got their spirit animals. Brother Tianyang, I'll be counting on your burrowing mouse to dig a tunnel to the Golden Spring Pool, then keep digging along this pattern. Zhuo Fan pointed on the map. This is where the Golden Spring Pool is. What? For it to dig to the Golden Spring Pool is not a problem, but for it to arrange spirit stones and set an array, it will take more than 1,000 trip. Correct. 3221 to be exact. Burrowing mouse is small and can only carry 1 spirit stone at a time. This means it will take 3,221 trips to set the array around the Golden Spring Pool. Xue Ningxiang went slack-jawed. You want to work it to death. Even the burrowing mouse seemed to understand and collapsed on Xie Tianyang's shoulder. Burrowing mouse shut its eyes. Even when it fell from the shoulder and landed on a rock, it wouldn't open them, though its twitching gave it away. Zhuo Fan smirked and ignored the critter while talking to its owner. Time is of the essence. Diamond sand could erupt at any minute, so get your critter step on it. Is there no other way? If you can snatch the diamond sand from right under their noses, then be my guess. There's a lot more burrowing mouse where he comes from. But as for diamond sand, only if you listen to me will you make a killing. Fine, it's just a first-level spirit animal anyway. Who would need it? The burrowing mouse jumped to its feet and pleaded to its owner with teary eyes. But Xie Tianyang was too far gone to notice its gesture, as he and Zhuo Fan looked like demons with their manic grins at the poor critter. Master, how can you be so cruel? I'll end up working to the bone. Zhuo Fan smiled at Xie Tianyang. See, I told you it'd be fine. Xie Tianyang sighed. Yeah, but this guy would hate me to the bone after this. When it came out for the final time, it was close to breathing its last. Xue Ningxiang hugged it and consoled it, letting it feel the joy of a survivor. No choice. If we wanted to have the array in place within 3 days, the only choice was its sacrifice. If he'd really died of work, then it wouldn't be treated as a first-level spiritual beast. Activate array. Zhuo Fan stood up and his hand flashed. With a hand sign, the spirit stones in the ground lit up. An invisible ripple spread out and the two arrays, thousands of miles from each other, were now connected. At almost the same time, the elder at the Golden Spring Pool shivered and opened his eyes with suspicion. What's going on? Why am I restless all of a sudden? Zhuo Fan revealed a wicked grin. Only one more push. When the diamond sand erupts, Hell Valley's elder would get the shock of his life. For a while, everything was quiet and peaceful. Xie Tianyang was feeling bored standing guard every day, while Xue Ningxiang seemed to have forgotten about the diamond sand and played with the burrowing mouse every day. It was his spirit animal, yet it was closer with Xue Ningxiang. But his worries about the diamond sand erupting and Zhuo Fan hogging it won over that feeling in the end. Zhuo Fan was a riddle, be it his background or his origins. In no way would he believe Zhuo Fan's words of coming from a small clan. Among their group, Zhuo Fan was the calmest. Over the past 10 so days all he did was meditate. As if he didn't care about the diamond sand at all, while in fact it also concerned him the most. Zhuo Fan, in Xie Tianyang's mind, was becoming more valued, with how rare such a character existed in the Tianyu Empire. At least he didn't have the state of mind to cultivate while waiting for the diamond sand like Zhuo Fan. A sudden sound woke Zhuo Fan up, at last, the 6th layer of qi condensation. To break through at such a crucial time, he would never reach Zhuo Fan's state of mind for years to come. Then a sudden bang resounded across the mountain range and the ground started shaking. It's time. Hell Valley's 7th elder stationed at Golden Spring Pool flew higher. I have waited 2 months for this. Men, cast the nets to gather the diamond sand. They then began throwing golden nets into the Golden Spring Pool until it was all shining golden. At the same time, at the stream, Zhuo Fan asked, did you prepare a net? Why would I come for diamond sand if I hadn't? Diamond sand erupted along with lava and it needed special nets to filter it. Brother Zhuo, what will you do now? Watch closely. Zhuo Fan smiled with confidence and his hand performed signs, heaven and earth reverse, mountains and river switch, yin and yang shift, twin array exchange. The spirit stones laid underground shined ever brighter and each beam of light pierced the horizon. All around the Golden Spring Pool, 3,221 light pillars towered towards the sky. The 7th elder felt uneasy. Reason dictated that along with the eruption of diamond sand, lava should flow out too. The hot springs water would be so hot that not even a bone-tempering expert should be able to approach. But why was there only plain water? Damn it, someone's playing us. He rushed higher in the air and saw thousands of light pillars in the distance. There. 7th elder seethed in rage as he charged. You're dead if you think you can play me. Meanwhile, the stream before Zhuo Fan's party was gone, replaced by a dark hole that was soon spewing lava along with fine and shiny particles. Diamond sand. Brother Zhuo, you're great. How is the diamond sand erupting here? This array is called Heaven and Earth Shift. It is a mere first-grade array, but it can reverse yin and yang, shift mountains and rivers. I only switched diamond sand's flow to here. Xie Tianyang was shocked to the core. As far as he knew, only 6th grade and above arrays could do that, and they were all lost. But Zhuo Fan not only did it but used just a first-grade array in the process. There may not be a second person in the Empire who can set this array. Brother Zhuo, would you like to come into Sword Marquis's abode as a venerable? Xue Ningxiang was tongue-tied. Zhuo Fan was so young yet he'd get to be a venerable in one of the 7 houses. Save it. Veiled Dragon Pavilion tried it already and I refused them all the same. That's why they changed to having an alliance agreement. Brother Zhua, you're showing off here. Alright, I will send someone with an alliance agreement when I get back. Where do I send it? Windgaze City's Luo clan. I will return when I am finished with my affairs. Xie Tianyang hesitated, then I will wait for your return. I want to sign it with you. With your skills, when you leave the Luo clan in the future, we won't lose out then. Sword Marquis' abode is so unruly, why would they want to sign an agreement with an outsider? And it wasn't with a clan, but with a single man. At this time, the dark cave let out a final eruption of lava. Seeing this, Zhua Fan urged, get the net. Why the hurry? The nets are made of spirit metal. They won't break in lava. Zhua Fan snorted, you think I don't know that? If we don't go now, we may not have a life to enjoy it. You think all elders from Hell Valley are blind? Who wouldn't notice the light pillars? Just wait, and you will have a profound heaven expert hovering overhead. Xie Tianyang rushed in with his hand signs to recover the net. Xie Tianyang was happy seeing the net but was aware of the imminent danger. Zhua Fan dragged them for 12 hours to this place for a reason most obvious, to buy time. Even a profound heaven expert would need 2 hours to reach here. Noticing Zhua Fan gazing at the stream's opposite bank, the pair shouted, the second area, wrong. Zhua Fan said dryly, the third area, is this guy crazy? The second area is dangerous enough, but going to the third is suicide. But they both were oblivious to the fact that Zhua Fan's aim from the start was in that area. 6th level spiritual beast, Thunder Skylark, will divide the diamond sand first then flee. Ever since they ran into Zhua Fan, they were led by the nose. Zhua Fan did whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted. The dust flowed like water out of the net and filled a 1-meter tall bucket, and that was just a third. Xie Tianyang started laughing. Despite his high position in Sword Marquis' abode and not being poor in the least, compared to the diamond sand before him, it was no different than being a beggar. Zhua Fan saw Xie Tianyang laugh, his eyes flashed as he turned back to the glittering sand with a smirk. Sword Marquis' abode's disciples are ignorant of the world outside. This is my share and the rest is yours. Xie Tianyang blinked, then smiled, no worries, it's fine if you take a bit more. Zhua Fan only took his share. Xie Tianyang secretly nodded and took the rest of the diamond sand. How do we escape now? Zhua Fan's hand held a small bottle and took 3 red pills out. He ate one and gave the rest to the 2. This is a first-grade pill, energy concealing pill. It can hide our auras for a whole day and let us pass through the second area while not attracting spiritual beasts. That's great. Where did you get it? I made it. It is unique to me. You're a freaking alchemist too? Perhaps he was a bit too amazing that Xie Tianyang even had to resort to curses, but Zhua Fan couldn't care less, which was evident from his shrug. Yep, the more skills the better. Who the hell is this punk? He's a chi condensation cultivator, yet can match me, a bone tempering cultivator. And now he's an alchemist too. Not only that, but he also sets up a lost array and refines unprecedented pills. Until now he thought that he had met a paragon like himself, just another strong opponent like the few geniuses he found his match in the 7 houses. But with Zhua Fan revealing that he was also an alchemist, gave Xie Tianyang's psyche a heavy blow. Next time around, he'd never say that he was a genius, at least not when Zhua Fan was present. Let's go. What's up with him? They didn't know that this proud and conceited genius had just fallen from Cloud 9 all the way down into the mortal quagmire. 2 hours later, a grey figure landed next to the stream. It was the 7th elder. His face was red with rage when he saw the steaming lava. Someone pulled the diamond sand here. He looked around and muttered, they just got the diamond sand and shouldn't have run far. If they stayed in the first area, death was only a matter of time. Then, think you can get rid of me with parlor tricks? Then he soared into the second area. 100 miles out, Zhua Fan's party was running, when a sudden cawing came from behind, followed by crows taking to the sky. What? Xie Tianyang and Xuaningxiang also stopped. What's going on? That elder is charging right into the second area. What now? He will catch up in no time. I don't know. I thought that the elder would first search the first area after inspecting the lava, just to be sure, thus buying us enough time. Moreover, the second area is notoriously dangerous, so I guessed he wouldn't come here to search so soon. That is why I picked this area to flee, and by the time he'd figure it out, we'd have a 6-hour lead, and for his safety in the second area, he'd be flying far slower to avoid 4th-level spiritual beasts. At that point, we'd be in the third area and he'd ultimately given up the chase. In that area, he will be in the same boat as us. Food for the spiritual beasts. so he'd never go in after us. Yet he went for the second area from the start. In this case, we only have 1 hour lead. If he catches up to us here, we're dead. Brother Zhua, haven't you heard of the seventh elder and what he is famous for? I only knew that a Hell Valley's elder was stationed here, but not the details. Know your enemy and yourself and you shall win 100 battles. It's normal for you to make a mistake when you don't even know how dreadful the seventh elder is. Dreadful? He is greatly admired in Hell Valley, and even Valley Lord Yuanshan consults with him. Or he wouldn't have left such an important city in the seventh elder's charge. You're saying his strong, not his strength, but his schemes. He is cunning and deceitful, known as the insidious demon. His mind is filled with schemes. Many elders of the 7 houses have fallen in his ploys. Even Veiled Dragon Pavilion's elder Ju lost his purple lightning gold eye because of the 7th elder's plot.